Yeah, whatever.
The restaurant pin.
I'll give you a box of them, Jacob, and spread them around town. Almost. Today is the 16th, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oops. It's 8:31. I now call the meeting to order of the Page County Supervisors Board meeting.
Move to approve the agenda.
I'll second that. Okay, got a motion of approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now if everybody would please rise and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this time, do we have any public comments? Anyone online? I don't see anything. Okay, JD, I think you're up.
Good morning, J.D. King, Page County Engineer. It's been an especially fine morning in Page County with the rain. Of course, it did affect our operations, but that's just fine. The blades were out. All the rock with one truck on the gravels, and we were shouldering yesterday till it got rained out. They're still working on J52. We started work on the B Avenue pipe. Got rained out. We got no mowers running, no spray patcher. Still waiting on that valve for the oil tank. And we did have some crews out putting down a coal patch in the various spots on the pavements. So this is a summary of yesterday of what was going on in the shop. Motor grader number 1, which is out of the North Row shed, was up to the shop, getting some pins replaced on the lower moldboard. The Ziegler technician was there doing that. Some various minor things on our tandems. The grinding head on the skid steer is broken. They're still trying to figure out what's going on there. And I talked about the oil tanker. In the engineer's office, we're continuing to close out the projects from this spring and summer. Tech's working on the seal coat job right now. We're waiting on Henningsen to come back in and do some patching toward the end of the month. According to Henningsen, the people with the concrete work at the bridge approach and the rumble strip panels should be in. At least they haven't forgotten that we're still on their schedule. And we're doing project development on some bridge projects in the future years. And the report from fiscal year 22 was submitted to the DOT yesterday. It's due the 15th of September. And when that gets approved, I'll present that to the board of supervisors. Next week's the ISAC conference. I do plan to attend that. Questions for me?
One of the pins on that grader, putting in the pins to hold the mower, is that something you normally have a technician come do?
Yes, they had one tech come and take it apart, and then this other tech came in and maybe bored it again and sleep and put it in bushings. But yes,
I have to reboard on the blade where I put the pins in.
and I couldn't point to the pins, but that's what they told me. And they also said that this was the last one that should have to be done like this for a while.
On the patch up here on Stanton Road, what's the plan there? How are you gonna patch that?
Well, I'm gonna extend into Montgomery County and extend past the dip in Page County. And there's a dip where things have come in like this multiple years. We've always stopped at the county line before. We need to extend into the other county this time.
I went up there and looked at it and stood there and watched people drive across it for a while. As anybody drove across that, we just hit them.
It's a dip.
Oh, we watched trailer tires come clear off the ground. This guy pulled the trailer in.
Was he northbound or southbound?
Northbound. And when you hit that, come clear off the ground. But it's not, by looking at everything that Tom sent and all these other things, it wasn't done right. Should have been back 300 feet, the slope, in the picture they said it's not. So what's the reason for that? It's not done according to plan.
Okay, wasn't paying attention.
What's that? Well, who checks on that?
I got it.
They call right now. Who checks on that matching into the plan, the engineering plan? Is that you?
It'd be the tech that's out there during the day, and I should follow up with that.
No, he's contacted all of us. And I went and looked at it myself. It does not match the plan. So since they didn't do it according to plan, what does that mean?
That they're gonna come back in and fix it.
They're gonna fix it by laying several more inches. It's 7 inches low right at the northbound lane. So they're gonna lay 7 inches of asphalt on top of.
We're gonna fix the dip, so there won't be a dip there anymore. Because over the years, we've tried to match by tapering down. So that's didn't work.
But who's gonna pay for all that?
They are.
And is there gonna be a new plan for that to be made, or is it just gonna be them out there throwing out stuff?
We're gonna run. We'll have a string line there to see.
Excuse me. So you said later this month, is when you plan on seeing Henningsen? You're on their schedule later this month, or was it September? I didn't get that down.
Later. The people doing the concrete work for Henningsen.
Oh, okay.
Should be in later this month.
Okay.
Anything else for me?
No.
Is there a schedule for ARPA? I mean, various other projects have been done with ARPA funds. Is there a opportunity for the secondary roads to present some projects for ARPA money use?
Sure. I think so. Sure. Like we talked, I think it'd be a good idea to look at the best options way out the top ones that need something. We could spread out some tubes or bridges or maybe some gravel connections,
Okay,
lay them out.
any kind of schedule for that, or?
I think.
Yeah, it's December 28th, I think.
Yeah.
What?
The sooner you can, the better, of course, because as people come in and request and we spend it, there's less money. So I would say, you know, we've got several projects that we've talked about, but we haven't gotten any bids or anything, so they haven't gone very far. We've got a couple million that's sitting there that's, or 1.8 million that's not been, it's been planned, but it's not gotten very far. So if you've got something logistical that you think will work into this, let's get it to us.
Is your committee formally meeting anymore?
We haven't met for a while because we kind of went through all this and kind of planned, but if we have some things coming in, such as the sheriff's request and JD has something, I think that we can get back to meetings. So
I see John sent something for ARPA request for next week.
Yeah. So yeah. So if you can put something together the next couple, 3 weeks, I think that'd be great, JD.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Or Lisa. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Well, ladies, we're a couple of minutes early, but if you'd be interested, we could probably move you up a couple of minutes and get you started, give you a few extra minutes to tell us all about our wellness.
So we start, we're done. All right.
Stop if you want to introduce who you are, so the KMA and KCSI will know who you are. That's in Valley News.
I am Ann Iversen, and I am one of the Wellness Committee co-chairs.
And I am Lisa Nelson. I am the other co-chair.
I'm not sure, I wasn't here for the update that you guys got at the beginning of the year, so we're going to go over a few things from last year in case you did not get the information. For last fiscal year, we did receive the 5% discount on our insurance. We received the maximum, and that ended up saving the county about $75,000 on our insurance premiums. This year, the wellness program is more or less the same. The requirements are the same. The only difference is the fax form. People don't have to complete that. Instead, you just self-report on your portal, and then they'll verify that through insurance. So far, we have earned 2 points of the maximum 5, so there's still a little work yet to be done. The county deadline for employees to finish those and get those submitted is August 31st. If it's done by then, they'll receive an incentive from the county. The ISAC deadline is not until October 31st, so they have a little time. Once we get the report on August 31st, I'll do reminders to the employees who have not completed the required events, and hopefully they will get them completed by the 31st. The other thing that was discussed in our wellness committee meeting is a couple years ago, the board, when we did the 5% for the employees who did not complete it, the board, I think in the minutes it said if anyone was hired prior to October 31st,
yes,
was required to complete them. Right. The problem now is if they are not on our insurance, they're not eligible to participate in the wellness program. So if someone was hired, let's say now, their insurance goes into effect October 1st, it really gives them less than a month to get it done because ISAC wants everything done a couple weeks ahead of time to get processed in time. Sure. So make sure they don't miss anyone. So that's something the board may need to look into again to discuss if there's a cutoff time, like anyone hired after October or August 1st, right, maybe does not have to complete them. It doesn't. Because
they're not being counted by ISAC against us at that,
right?
No, because the wellness numbers we get from ISAC, I think, are off January 1st employment numbers, so they don't count against us. If they do participate, it helps our percentage, but they don't have to for ISAC. But
would that be something that you guys could put together, kind of the verbiage for an agenda item, and just send it to us whenever you're ready for us to talk about it?
Absolutely.
That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, that's, we wanted to congratulate both of you. Done a great job.
Yeah.
And then is this the walking competition?
Yes. These are the results that were emailed to us by ISAC. I put some notes on the lower right-hand corner of maybe some highlights of the program. So ISAC, they created this accelerated blocking challenge. It counts your daily steps on a mobile app. And that way you can't enter your own steps. It really is specific. It's for 6 weeks. You have to participate 30 at 42 days. You have to get at least 5,000 steps or more. And then you will see in the top right box, the individual walkers. Some of them chose to remain anonymous, but who the top walkers were in the 28 organizations that participated in the state of Iowa. They did receive gift cards, the winning team did. Our email didn't state what that was, and then overall winner of $300. But we're happy to report that Page County placed 5th out of 28.
That's great. And with a small percentage of participants.
Yeah. 7.
Yeah, I feel bad. I started it and then I forgot to turn my setting on my phone back on. And then I realized that I had forgotten until I got a note and it's too late to turn it back up.
Yeah, it was kind of challenging. There was several of us that had to go in every day and see otherwise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we may miss the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a glitch on their end or what.
I think it was a glitch on my end. User error. But I know I would have been a top dog if I'd have turned my.
You would have 1.4 million steps.
You'd have to beat JD.
I walk a lot.
Wow.
I'm always running.
Well, that's neat. So,
Yeah.
and then you guys sent out an email about a Zoya meeting coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
Yes.
Boya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zoya Boya.
September 12th, I believe.
Yes.
He's going to come and do one meeting at the courthouse and then one chat too. And then anybody who comes will get a certificate. They can upload it to their portal and it'll count as the financial pillar.
Okay.
So they would actually receive $25.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, that's good information that they'll have for us. So, way to go, team.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you don't mind getting that verbiage for us, and then, you know, I think at our meeting, it was talked a little bit about ISAC contributes money, the county contributes money, and I think it's at budget time, we need to probably look at those dollars, see if they're realistic, given the number of dollars that we can gain by accomplishing that goal. All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Very good job. Appreciate your efforts. Next item up is talk about the opiate funds. Do we need to wait until 9 o'clock to talk about that? No, because, okay, I was just going to say if you did, we could do some of the other stuff ahead of that. It's up to you. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, discuss, approve, establishing new fund, local government opiate abatement fund, resolution 43-2022. Basically, that is to accept the funds and set it up as a special revenue fund. So that way it is kept separate from all of our other items. And to be kind of like our ARPA, we could track it, keep track it like our ARPA funds. So is there any discussion? Do you want me to read through the whole resolution?
I don't, we can read it each other, but is a dollar amount in there?
No, no.
Because the check has arrived, and I can't, and Richard had asked me, it's 15,000 and something.
$524.
I don't know, I'll have to look.
Yeah, it's around 15 and a half, I believe. So.
And this resolution is kind of the recommendation of ISAC.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it
it makes sense to get it and keep it completely separate. So that way it can be tracked and monitored, not overspent.
And just for transparency, Richard Mullins with Public Health, we've had a conversation. Public Health would like to administer the funds we're waiting on.
You're definitely interested? Okay. What kind of goals do you have? What do you think?
So,
sure, come on up and introduce yourself. Welcome aboard, by the way.
Thanks, Richard Mullins. So I'll just give you a quick little background. In 2018, Page County was considered a red county.
Yes.
They had 88 out of 100 people prescribed an opiate at any given time. And since from 2018 to 2020, which is the most recent data they have, Page County has dropped that down to 47 out of the last 100 people. So
Out of how many?
47.
47 down to 47. Okay.
And so they have really done a lot of things, and that was with the initiative of the SOR program from Zion, which was a great asset that we started in 2017, working with the hospitals in this Page County area to reduce the number of opiates that are being prescribed. So, so they made some really leaps and bounds. Taylor County is still considered a red county to this date. It hasn't really moved its number from 60 out of 100 people being prescribed an opiate. And that could be because there's so many hospitals in close proximity: Creston, Adams County, Maryville, Clarinda, so it could be those reasons why that's still considered a red county. But and so the funds basically are coming from a settlement in regards to the opiates. And there's 2,500 that has to be set back for attorney fees, just in case there's additional attorney fees that are going to be created because of this. But the remainder of it will be, a large portion of it will be prevention related, and also extending hopefully reaching out further with the MAT services that the current hospital currently has as well, so that people can gain access to MAT services. So a lot of it's just going to be prevention and education and getting out there and talking about the dangers of opiates, whether it be prescription or whether it be, heroin or other synthetic opiates. And then also understanding what it's like if you have unused opiates in your medicine cabinet, which actually possesses the greatest risk, of where to go and take those and surrender those at drop boxes and those types of things like that.
Super. Yeah. So appreciate that. We'll get a little bit more.
Yeah, we were on board whenever we had a big meeting with, who was that came in and spoke to us about.
Well, that was a different. We had an opioid grant that we applied for.
Yeah.
Bill Billings was involved with it, and someone from Des Moines, and it was a huge grant request. They did not get it. And the hospitals that signed on to it, we signed on to it.
And that was at the time when we were considered high risk.
Yeah,
a lot higher risk.
Yeah. But, and I know the hospitals have done, with the help of Zion, as you mentioned, they've done a lot of positive work on reducing and educating the prescribers in large part. That was one of the things that was part of it. Anyhow, well, appreciate public health willingness to take us on. We'll, again, Peterson, Bill Peterson, I keep trying to extract, because I remember in the meetings when the litigation was going on, how much they emphasized that the reporting requirements are going to be pretty stringent. And we need to make sure that we don't put anybody at risk if we're doing it.
Right. The reporting is only an annual narrative that has to be released to the public. So the reporting part is pretty simple.
Do you think so? Okay.
It's just a narrative, which is very common with any kind of grant or anything like this. So.
Okay. Well, for a grant specialist, it's simple. For my mind, it's hard. Okay. All right.
Well, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask.
Oh,
so, because I think that's wonderful. Okay.
So I'd make a motion we approve resolution 43-2022.
I'll second that.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay, I'll take that back over and I'll sign you. Did I pass it that way? Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
And then I think there's a check that needs to get deposited.
It is ready to go as soon as this is.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. While we're waiting on Mr. Palmer to get here, anybody have any board communication they want to talk about? And by the way, Richard, I was just going to say, enjoy your emails. Thank you very much. I love the communication and the clarity, and it's nice to get those, so appreciate that.
Well, a couple of things. On the west side of the courthouse, up on the tower, somebody told me it was missing a chunk, and I looked at it last night. It is. There's a couple of pieces missing.
Up here on the southwest corner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they got some stuff bound for that, or?
you'd have to ask
Tracking that
Gene the
down?
status. I know he's had a couple people look at it.
Okay,
But,
trying to figure out that company that made the tower, or whoever, what it is. I went and listened to the history of the courthouse last night, library.
Oh,
So they were talking about all that, some company out of Tennessee, I think it was, made it. I don't know if they did one's contact or what, but,
Gene's done some work.
and then the women's restroom, what's wrong with that? I saw that email,
Well, I don't know. I got the same email.
Yeah, women's restroom.
Did it back up or?
Okay. Okay.
uh,
So
gonna have to figure that out.
plumbing, yeah, plumbing issue. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And then the other thing I forgot, I wrote down, I forgot to ask JD, is I had a couple calls on the guys that we went out to the spraying, third-party sprayers, spraying weed and stuff. I've not actually seen what they did, but drove over there, but the Zorn East River said they were not very impressed with the spray job they did on the things. So I'm going to look, I meant to ask him.
Is it oversprayed? Is that the problem?
Well, it was some of that, but a lot of it was spray one, skip five, spray, it wasn't very uniform at all. And he said it looked like it was very, very young kids out there spraying. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I meant to ask him that, I forgot who that was. That's what I had. I'm going tomorrow up to Council Bluffs, that's tomorrow. So,
On Council Bluffs, that's fourth.
no, that's juvenile detention.
Juvenile detention, yes.
Yeah, tomorrow, I'm going up there. I think that's all I've got. Those questions I meant to ask.
Yeah, Gene can do those too for you.
I'll ask Gene on that.
Yeah.
I think I got Zion on Monday.
I have West Central tonight. Stay Tuesday, yeah. And then everything else next week. For 5 minutes early, are you interested?
Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go, buddy.
I have a lot to do today.
Let's go. Let's get it going. We'll get some more things to do maybe.
Morning.
Morning.
So on the agenda, we talked, our copier has a lot of copies. Used quite a few things, of course, make cases, civil, copy papers, sort of stuff like that. It's wore out. We got a new one in the last year. So we have one, it still functions. I would recommend it for a larger department if we're looking to transfer it, or if we're going to sell it. Either that we sold it an option or sealed it or something like that.
Now, this is the Ricoh that you guys have. Now, you guys have been paying for images every month. So why do you pay for images? Are you sure this isn't a lease?
This isn't a lease. Yeah, I Ricoh, but now we own it out.
Okay, you've got paperwork that shows that.
Yes. So what we have is, according to my civil and my chief deputy, we own that out.
Okay, I would recommend, because
I'm
I
gonna get it
know
right
everything
before we-
else in the county is pretty much
Yes.
leased.
Leased, yeah.
And if you sell something that is leased,
You can do.
yeah, it gets complicated. Well, you can, but it gets complicated, yes. And
So what, on this new one,
going to
it was
jail.
actually cheaper for the county to buy it,
Uh-huh.
to do a service contract with it.
And that's very possible. It's just unusual to keep paying images.
That's why we went away from it, because years ago, that was the thing to do, was to lease them and pay for the images.
But you're still paying $160 a month on a lot of months for images.
Yeah.
Currently. So, and to own it, it's unusual to, so,
So what we do, well, they had said that the lease that ran out and that we owned it.
okay,
Is what I was told on the phone on our.
Okay.
board.
I
But
will
I'll
make
know-
sure-
I'm gonna get it right
Yes.
before we do it.
yes.
But I wanted to get the board's blessing on what they would like for me to look at pursuing on that.
Right.
We've never really had that problem before.
Is it the same as others we have that are?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how.
It's black and white. We did not get a color when we got it. It's black and white. We just had, they came down and did quite a little bit of work to it and basically said here on your last night here. So we were there. We'll look into that and I'll make sure if I get it in writing before we decide to do
Yes.
it, yeah.
just to be safe.
Yeah, we're not gonna do something like that. The two Ram pickups at the end of last year, we purchased two. I found two finally. The year before, we did not get any. So we found two. They came out of Kentucky. It was the only place in the country that we could find that they had them. We did get two, so now we have one stripped out, and the other one should be back within a week from being ready to go. Talking with JD just downstairs, he said he is not interested in either one of them. John showed some interest, but I did some checking on what pricing is for those vehicles, for those mileage. And right now, according to Kelly Blue Book, low value is 23,900. High value is over 30. One of them will have about 154,000 on it. With that being said, they have great maintenance. Something broke or brakes, then you fix. The one with 154 just had brand new brakes put on it, pads and rotors in the rear, and the front's not too far forward. They've had the only issue we have with the Dodge compared to other models that we've had. Chevys, we seem to about 100,000 put transmissions in all the time. Dodges, we end up with fuel pumps and exhaust manifold. That's pretty much the only problems we have. Fuel pumps, we try to, lately they've been under warranty because they've done that. And then once we get them put in, we put a small warranty on them, and they usually last for the rest of the life of the pickup. So those are the only two real problems we've had with the Dodge pickups.
So Lyle, one of them has 154. What's the mileage on the other? I'm sorry.
About 120.
About 120. Okay.
How have we done that in the past when we've transferred from one department to the other? Did they?
Budget amendment at the
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you're definitely interested in one. Yeah.
What was the new pickup?
Pardon me,
How much was the new pickup?
new pickups, those we had to pay a little more. They were 38.
It's amazing then.
But
That
nobody else
used
has.
is- Yeah.
It was supply and demand.
Like used is still at 23.
To 30.
38.
23.9, so
Yeah.
24 grand.
Yeah, I know. It's just amazing, isn't it?
I know.
It's amazing that if you have to completely upfit a vehicle, it costs more than the vehicle itself. What it costs,
Transfer everything over.
not just a transfer, if you have to put new stuff in, something would happen. Of course, the insurance would pay for that because right now we're over $100,000 on our insurance for each vehicle with everything that's in there.
Do you have anybody else, any other departments that would need?
I did not get a hold of Darren yesterday when I stopped in to transfer the EMA pickup to get the topper put on up to Brian Hammond.
I'm not sure how old Darren's is. It's gotta be.
I think Donnie had that pickup. if I'm not
Yeah, I was
mistaken.
gonna
So
say
it's older.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we could get.
So I was gonna try to talk to Darren today.
Yep.
How many pickups are you looking for?
Just one.
Just one?
Just one to replace our tank. And ours would, like, if it came down between us and Darren would definitely need
Yeah.
the truck more.
Well, but if we got two,
Yeah, it'd be our tank, yeah.
and that would be my recommendation is to,
And how does that work? Does it come out of their budgets for trade value, just ignore that, like not?
Usually trade value would come out of their budget, like there'd be a transfer at the end of the year into our.
and then it goes into an additional asset. And it is more of a paper trail than it is anything else. No money, actual dollars.
There's no actual checks right now, right? It's a budget amendment
And
transfer.
it just increases our value of our property because then we'll end up getting rid of those older two and giving them away at an auction somewhere.
Talking, and then in August and September, I'll have two more that we'll have to discuss. Well, they're supposed to be built in August. I've been on the phone with the state bid, Stu Hansen, to see where we're at. I did not get a phone call returned, and I have not got an email returned yet. Now, I know that sometimes it may be a week before I get that. The Dodge dealer for having the state bid across the state. He was very busy.
What's the price on those, do you know?
Jacob, I can't answer. I think they were 34 to 36. Now, these are pretty much the baseline model, power windows. We do get a remote start. That's about the only upgrade I really get. Stu Hansen orders them in bulk. So if he orders a chrome appearance package on them, that's what they come with. And sometimes it costs more to order the black bumpers and steel wheels, which I prefer. But we get that, we get the posi track. That's pretty much all we get out of it.
And when those come online, will the other two get sold then, or those
That's what we'll have to talk
Yeah,
about, whether we're gonna have.
I would think
more.
if we got these two taken care of, there wouldn't be anybody else. that
I wonder if that, and I just don't know if it would actually bring that, maybe it would in this crazy times, that one with 120,000 would actually bring $30,000.
Almost,
And a
according to
new-
Kelly Blue Book,
And a new pickup is about 34 or 5,000.
for us on state bid. Now,
We can't get.
But the auction, but will you really
Sell
get,
one,
yeah,
replace it with a
Yeah.
few thousand more.
but will we get $30,000? I know Kelly Blue, but are you guaranteeing that we'll get?
no, that's the next thing I was gonna bring up.
Yeah,
That could be
Yeah.
3,000.
There are some online places that offer instant prices.
Yeah.
For those, you give them the VIN number, the make, model, year, and the mileage, and then send them photos.
Pickups are great.
They are, and especially four-door short box pickups, people use them like cars.
That's just something I was thinking of. They're worth that much money.
So the pickups that we buy online, or that we buy through state bid, those on your lot for the taxpayer would be somewhere between $40,000 and $48,000 depending.
I understand fleet thing. So,
But with state bid, that's pretty much the bare bones. You're dealing in volume instead of that. That's where we've always tried to get them.
that's my only question, if it was really close.
the next two that are gonna be coming in, what kind of mileage are they gonna be?
They're gonna be somewhere right around 100,000.
Okay, so they'll probably be of more value than,
They could be on a trade-in more value,
yeah,
or if we decide to sell that. I know that a neighboring county has an auction every year and sells their used vehicles at the auction if they don't trade them in or they don't have a.
why don't we see what the next two are on trade with 100,000?
Can, of course, they normally get a fleet deal, but, so does it have to be used for the sheriff's pickup, or can the county buy it the way you're buying?
So if,
Because we could have bought these for JD's pickup.
so the same pickup that we buy is available to any government entity on state bid for the same price. It doesn't matter. It's the same exact vehicle. It's a Ram SSV, special service vehicle. And you can get different options. Like when we get them, Stu Hansen puts 10-ply tires, which is great because 4-ply tires, first of all, you're only going to get about 50 to 80,000 on the gravel, and you're going to spend $20-some for a flat tire. And we have a lot of flat tires.
You know, the only thing, and I appreciate the good deals, the only thing is that people need to understand, it's a great deal for the taxpayer. Our deputies do, I think, they pay a little bit of a price, because you're not, when you go buy your own vehicle, you buy the bells and whistles and the comfort. I mean, it's all about comfort. And these sometimes are not the most comfortable vehicles. So, we thank the deputies for doing that.
It's part of what we know.
And
we do that.
The beauty is you're not in them. The deputies aren't in them all day. They're in them quite a bit.
They're quite a bit. Depends on what they're doing. When we're doing a transport, which we've been doing a lot of across county mental health transports. Last week or over the weekend, we went to Storm Lake. Bettendorf, I think, is that where we talked about, Chuck? I can't remember. Twice in 2 weeks. Those are long trips. Oakdale, once within one of those.
Good old Crown Victoria sitting out there run up. So you get all these to haul people up there for that whole drive pickup.
Well, the Crown Vics, I can remember that when they made the Crown Vic like it was supposed to, those were a good vehicle to ride all the way across.
To drive.
They weren't the Grand Marquis, but they had the same suspension. They just didn't have the bells and whistles inside. And these don't. Basically, they're not the high-end vehicle. You get, they come with a 6-way, I think they call it power seat for the driver. Everything else is manual. Just an AM/FM stereo. That's the standard base model. The gauge package come with them. The SSVs are wired different than your standard pickups so that they can actually take what we do with the radios. They can accessibly handle the light bars, the lighting systems that go on. And we don't put extravagant light systems on ours. We put a front, rear
flashing lights, they go into that, and then we have a light bar on top. My opinion is if you're gonna have a patrol vehicle, it needs to have a light bar, and it needs to be striped and seen. That's what we're out there for. A big percentage of our job is to be seen. So that's what we try to tell them, get out there. And in inclement weather, I can remember when we had Crown Vics or Caprices, you kind of were told when it got bad, you stayed off of those roads. And unfortunately, with our older population here in the county, we have a lot of rural calls that in the middle of a snowstorm, we got to get.
The car would shine for just transferring up the highway 71, the storm like that.
It would be.
Just having one around on cheap cars.
The problem with that is that you have one just sitting around. And if you have it sitting around, if it's not running.
Well, if you're doing a lot of transfers, it wouldn't be sitting all the time.
That could be.
Are you trying to sell it?
I don't know, but I got one I wouldn't sell, but no, that would actually, you get a lot of transfers several hours away.
The only problem that I've seen in talking to other sheriffs is the Dodge Chargers or yes, Charger, the 4-door Charger or a popular vehicle for patrol. Fortunately, you get a raccoon or a possum, you just look for $4,500 to $5,000 body shop. Yeah. Whereas these, if we get one of those, we know we have, the deer. I don't remember since we've gone to pickups getting a vehicle taken out by a deer. We may have damage to the fender, once in a while to the grill guard, occasionally the hood, but it still functions. I don't remember any headlights getting taken out.
I think pickup makes a lot of sense. I'm just saying, if we're doing a lot of highway driving.
No, I get it. And if we had an interstate or something, we might be considering something different.
When I go to Council Bluffs tomorrow, I'm not taking one of my pickups up there.
No.
Well, that's what I mean, and our deputies being in that pickup, we need to, I think, we need to recognize it. It's a lot of money to buy a fleet of pickups, but
It is.
they're not comfort rides.
Right, no, I'm impressed.
And that's why when we didn't get one that year, I was thinking, okay, and our maintenance fluctuates depending on, what they are.
So if Darren hasn't responded, I was asking what his pickup was. Let's say he doesn't need a pickup. Where else? I mean, maybe you do.
That would be it.
Maybe you do.
So online and see what we can come up with.
Sure.
Things seem to sell pretty fast on Marketplace. Can we sell on that way?
Marketplace, well, I know that like on an online
We can
auction,
take bids.
Purple Wave, I think there's just one big iron. I don't know if they do the same thing, just out of the top of my head there. Not trying to promote either one of them, but I've seen a lot of those go pretty decent on there. Yeah. So they sell all kinds of different law enforcement vehicles and this and that, and the stripes are off, so they have no markings on them. That's getting more expensive every time we have to have the stripes taken off and put on.
Yeah.
Stripes we get because they have to come from the Iowa prison industry, so we have to order those. So every time we have deer hit, it comes down the side, we have to fix something. That's something that we incur.
Well, I guess on the pickups, I think probably the best obvious thing is find out what Darren is interested in. And then on the next two, if those two are transferred on the next two, then we talk about that trade-in value with them versus
what we can do.
Yeah.
Get the best price we can for the county.
Right.
We're going outside.
Well, especially since the ones that you're gonna get this fall are a little more expensive.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be a little more.
And the lower mileage on those two, they may have a little bit better value too. So
There's a lot of guys I talk to that have got the fleet deal that are able to trade up since they can buy a fleet price and spend no money. They can drive a pickup for quite a while, get a brand new pickup and hardly spend anything if you do it right, but you can't do it these, because it'd be too much stuff to transfer.
We've looked into a lease situation and I don't know, I think that costs the county.
Yeah, that's our fleets. But there's just right now we're in a crazy market.
Yes.
So when you can buy it below MSRP and other people are going above that, it makes the use not so much.
On private sales,
It
and
makes
that's why
it's a unique situation.
I can take a look into what the online is paying for them.
Yep.
I mean, we've all seen the commercials or the ad, the internet. I'll talk with Darren. The question is, if these entities like Darren's or John's here, if they don't have it in their budget, how are you gonna make that work?
we'll visit with Melissa and we'll figure that out, correct? And it'd be no different than we had to do the last time, whenever that was, we did the same thing.
Okay.
with John, I think at that time. I don't know, were you here yet when you got, no,
No, that was
No,
right before I was
that was
here.
before John. That's when you got your pickup. I think it was. Yeah,
So we'll
so,
see what we can do on that.
yeah.
And I'll come back.
And you can visit with Melissa, kind of give her some, and she can give us some ideas on what we need to do. How
I'll
we
do
need
that,
to
and I'll just throw some things out there. So we kind of have an idea of what, if somebody's gonna offer, what they're gonna offer. And
Sure, sure.
Yeah, that way we're fair to the other departments and everything else.
Sure. Sure.
Okay?
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for your work.
What about this $5,000?
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Good
Yeah.
job, Jacob.
So I thought we approved that, didn't we?
That's fine.
I thought we did too,
Yeah, I think that.
because we don't have it in the budget. It's not in the budget for the,
For 911.
It's a contract. It's a radio contract.
okay, okay, yes, okay. Okay, gotcha, okay. So we need a motion to approve ARPA funding request of 5,000 for radio recording contract with Montgomery County.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I took the contract up yesterday when I took the EMA pickup up and dropped it off. They were gonna get it signed and emailed me a signed copy so that I can bring that back to you guys.
Good. Good. No, that's great. Tell them
We'll
thank
get
you.
her done. Super. Thank you. And
Thanks.
have a good week.
Happy working.
Well, great for that.
Yeah. Okay. Approved claims, and I think I passed those
Yeah.
to you, so.
Let's see. Those are EMA claims. That is.
There's a satchel of them. Got them all signed, including the one for the race for Christie.
Raise for Christie.
Yeah.
Darren says he doesn't know if he needs one or not. His is just rusty.
How many miles this has got on it? John, do you have any idea how many miles?
How many
Darren's
miles?
has got on it?
On his,
How many
Darren.
miles you got on your truck, Darren?
I don't know, it's old.
Yeah,
It's older than any of our trucks.
I swear it's gotta be in the 90s.
I know he said it belonged to whoever had the position for it, it's his truck.
Mm. I remember seeing it around town forever.
This is all the fuel, the sheriff's office is like stuff.
Flex, yeah, yep.
You going to ISAC, John?
Not this year, I got too much stuff going on.
Well, Jacob's looking at, bills. The auditor's office tells me we don't have a lot of applications for the,
We'll just appoint people.
for the eminent domain
We'll just appoint people.
committee.
John's on there, Jacob and Chuck's on there, Kristen's on there, Corey's on there. What do you guys think? Did you do any research on the topic of funding, paying people?
Oh, I'm supposed to ask that tomorrow. That's the thing you want me to ask tomorrow.
Yes,
I
yes,
just remembered that.
yes. I mean,
I'm
I'm gonna guess that we need to look at least $100 a day plus mileage.
Well, if the judge wants 28 names, he
Yeah.
may have to do that.
Yeah, or $200 a day. Well, I guess winter's our cutoff. It was yesterday, correct? Why don't you guys send us a list of those, and then I think we're gonna have to just go out and start calling. What are your thoughts? Are you willing to?
Well, let's see what Jacob finds
Okay.
out tomorrow.
Yeah, why don't you let us know, send us a note and let us know what, and then we need to have it on the agenda next week to set up the, for that person. And if it's an all-day event, 8 hours, and something that you're going to be making a hotbed decision on, is $200 out of the question for 7 people?
Probably not.
You know,
All of them have to live in Page County, so
Yes.
mileage doesn't amount to anything. Really?
pardon? Yeah, mileage.
I live here.
No, mileage. Yeah, mileage is gonna be less than 10, 15.
Well, I mean,
$20.
that's assuming that the judge would
Yes,
hold the
have it
hearings
here.
locally. If
Yeah.
it Didn't have a day.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
didn't think about that.
That's true, because on this one thing that's in that folder, talking about using Webster City as a center point for some of the discussion on that last, in that yellow, in that orange folder. There's a last paper in there is from the utilities board.
Bunch of everything.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, Webster County Fairgrounds,
So that's a long trip.
Fort Dodge.
So that's a long trip, but I think we couldn't expect people to drive up there if that's where they were going to have it.
Well, you'd have to pay a mileage,
Yeah.
their time. I mean, if it's from here to Fort Dodge, it's 2.5 hour drive, 5 hours of drive.
Yeah, plus a hotel if they stay the night. Yeah. Do you want to talk to your contact over in Fremont, Chuck, and see what they're doing? Because they've got that.
Yeah, I will.
And maybe even talk to Mark, see if you can catch him.
Okay. Yep. And then Jacob talked to his
Mhm.
cronies at Council Bluffs.
Then we'll have that on the agenda next week.
Okay.
And I'll do a little more research online, see what else I can find.
Okay. So the application deadline was yesterday.
Mhm.
They carpeted the upstairs and the annex.
Pardon?
They carpeted the upstairs.
Yeah, second floor. Oh, upstairs on,
Second
yeah,
floor.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the second floor of the annex.
yep.
The carpet tile. Or what else?
Yes.
I
believe so.
like to have.
Yeah. Same as downstairs.
How's this all work for everything's been over there? How's that? Who's telling them to go on all this stuff? Who's saying go?
Downstairs auditor.
Just who's picking the carpet and saying go? That's all.
They just-
does all that?
They matched it with what was there downstairs. Okay.
Yeah, that's all that. So that building would be under who to be responsible for it, is the board who's responsible for all the county buildings.
What's county building? I mean, so we're responsible.
All those decisions. When
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's just that
I don't know if the ACT team ever found a home for it or not. It's too bad that we couldn't get that going for them. It would have been good income. It would have been good for the community.
I signed that one twice.
That's good. Make up for when you don't sign.
Yeah, I missed one.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Hopefully no one's still here.
Got signed.
Look around for extra service.
That it?
You feel comfortable with that bid on the float dock?
Yeah, it was, it turned out being a lot more work than what we were expecting it. But the guy that did the bid, he's the one that does pretty much all of DNR's both docks and southwest Iowa. So.
Are they still doing the fish out at the Green Plains?
Yes, and they actually were in contact with DNR and asked if they did traffic.
What I was wondering is, you know, at one time they wanted to be involved in that boat dock. I just thought you might want to throw it out. And see, and you might let them know where that's at and see if they're interested in being a sponsor of that. I don't know where they're at as far as longevity on the fish food and how that's going to grow with the sugar plant, if that will change anything.
Yeah, what is it?
I just thought, you know, $30,000 to have their name plastered on that. It might be 5,000, 10,000, I don't know. But you know, they talked to me about that a long time ago. They would love to be involved. So if you've got time to call them, I don't think I would be afraid to.
There's a bunch of trips to Coral.
And let them know that we're in the process. Guys.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called horrible, because their trip should be to University of Iowa Hospital.
Anyway. But no, I just think that they are community minded. Green Plains is very community minded in the area, so.
Yeah, I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's where
just
the whole
thought,
car talk.
you know, I don't know.
I sometimes.
It's worth trying.
Yeah. I don't see those guys very much anymore.
Spend a lot of money to save a little bit of money.
I think they changed their routine a lot, but the two that were there, I don't know if the same ones or not.
Or,
I know, in February, we had our district.
10 times.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of a sudden,
Yeah, they may have changed their leaders, because I'm sure those kind of jobs
13
change.
will make a difference if you drive it.
Yeah,
But that
it's
was
just
like
like
the trout feed, that was, or the trout thing, that was in October.
Just-
Is that when they did that?
Just hauling people. I don't know.
71 highway or highway.
They're saying about being.
I would rather be in a big old slow car drive.
I tell you what, that was huge.
Oh, I know.
I
don't know why we're getting
one
hit so
friend of
hard
mine.
now. I don't know
He
that
went out
that's
every day.
I don't know if
tried
those
all
trips
kinds
have
of
been
different lures, different things.
consistently heavy. I think it's heavy this
He
way.
finally caught one, he said he opened it up.
But I
and
don't
it's
know
just
what's
full of
going on,
corn.
why.
He said it's
heavy
eating the
now.
corn like
I
crazy
don't
off the
understand.
lines and wouldn't get caught, but he said.
It'd be nice to have a calendar and take a look at the year and see what they average or what they do.
Yeah. You know, I tell you, the people that was the most exciting thing that ever happened, I think.
Yeah.
Shenandoah, I really did. That was fascinating. Yeah. And it made some good money for the DNR too.
Oh, for sure.
You know, the state picked up some revenue with that, so. You know, pretty exciting.
Sure, a lot of lily pads are wrapped, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
How do you eradicate those? Or do you?
Spray, and keep spraying. That was one of the big things on the boat, the DNR can't get their spray boat on the route. Or they get it in, but they wouldn't be able to recover it. Where it is. Yeah, those lily pads will, the American boats will take over really quick.
Some of the dyes are made to keep the sun out, to keep stuff from growing. I don't know if I take a lot of dye, but like in my pond, I'll dump all that in just to keep the stuff from growing. The sun can't get in there then.
At least from what DNR said, the tough thing with that is that each one of those plants will put out like 20 or 30 seed pods, and they just kind of drift, and once they hit something, they'll start growing. It's a very invasive plant.
I went fishing the other day with the boys. We took a bunch of boys out to Ross Park. Fished a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff growing along the edge of there. It's hard to do more. It's hard to get out.
Yeah, that southern pond like Ross Park, it's had those lotus there for, oh my gosh, years. Thankfully, that's the spread, so we just kind of left that pond alone.
Okay, would there be a motion to approve claims?
Yeah, so
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And minutes?
I thought it looked fine. Get over. It looked good there, Bill.
I'll second Jacob's motion.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jacob, you're up next.
Motion, we adjourn. How about that?
Okay.